A major decision by the Supreme Court blocking the Biden administration's temporary ban on evictions. It's a victory for landlords and property owners, but it could spell trouble for people who have struggled to pay their rent during the pandemic. Yahoo Finance's Dani Romero joining us now with all of these details. Dani?
Yeah, the Supreme Court made a decision late last night stating that the CDC lacked authority to impose an eviction moratorium under federal law. Now, the courts did stress that if a federally imposed eviction moratorium is set to continue, Congress must specifically authorize it. They also stated that landlords are suffering irreparable harm. Now, earlier this month, the CDC put their own eviction moratorium in place across the U.S. in areas that were suffering high levels of transmission, of COVID transmission. This was only a 2-month set order that was supposed to expire by October 3rd. The court's action ends the protection to roughly 3.5 million people in the U.S. who say they could face eviction in the next 2 months, according to the Census Bureau estimates from earlier this month.
So what has the response been from landlords and also from those who are renting after this recent ruling, which I guess just came down yesterday?
Yeah, it did. And let's start with the White House. The White House said that it is disappointed by this ruling, which is a blow to President Biden. Now, I did reach out to the National Multifamily Housing Coalition, who advocates for property owners, and they agree with the Supreme Court. Here's their statement. They say that the NMHC supported a voluntary short-term halt to evictions to keep families safely and securely housed. However, a long-term eviction moratorium was never the right policy. It does nothing to speed the delivery of real solutions for American renters and ignores the unsustainable and unfair economic burden placed on millions of housing providers, jeopardizing their financial stability and threatening the loss of affordable housing stock nationwide. Now, I also reached out to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, who advocates for tenants, and the president sent me this statement. The federal eviction moratorium was a lifeline for millions of Americans, the last remaining federal protection keeping them safely and stably housed throughout the pandemic. The tragic and consequential and entirely avoidable outcome of this ruling will be millions of people losing their homes this fall and winter, just as the Delta variant ravages communities and lives. Now, the administration has vigorously called on state and local governments to impose their own eviction moratorium and also distribute that rental assistance aid to keep these families housed. And just yesterday, the Treasury Department revealed that only $5.1 billion of the more than $46 billion in rental assistance already approved by Congress has gone out throughout the end of July. Now, again, earlier this month, President Biden did acknowledge that this new ban may be unconstitutional, but he said that it was worth a try to get worth a shot and a try to help these millions of Americans.